Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. How y'all doing? How's it going? It is almost 8 o'clock. A couple minutes till 8. You see that hummingbird? Couple minutes till 8 a.m. This pretty Friday morning. Banjo's ready to go. Anyway, how y'all doing? Happy Friday. So, I feel like making a video. Some days I don't feel like making a video. Some days I do. I guess some days I'm a little bit more chattier than others. For whatever reason, So there's several things that I've been kind of thinking about, politically speaking. Before I went on a run yesterday, I was putting on my shoes, getting ready to put on. I got my fanny pack with my Gatorade, getting ready to go for a run. And my mom was watching this special with Oprah and AI. So I didn't catch it all. I guess I caught the beginning of Oprah's AI 101. And I guess I'll just go with this. Watch out, Benji. Watch out. With this. Let's go, Banjo. Hopefully, penguin truck won't run us over. Or earphones. Sorry, earphones. I don't know where the penguin truck is anymore. And this is the smoker. Banjo, they're gonna run you. Oh, no. Okay. That one usually goes over his creek. I don't know what it is. I crossed the street from the back alley and it's just too much. Some people can't handle it. Or I could just have that wrong and people are just really busy every time I step out the back alley. One of the two, right? So you want to own this space so bad, why do I have to be here for it? Anyway, so Oprah's AI friendly chat. It's supposed to be, I think it was advertised as a chat discussing AI, which is short for artificial intelligence. I think specifically that's what it's short for. And it was specifically that discussion, the question and answer interview. Oprah was the interviewer. Somebody who, I don't know, was the interviewee. It's the expert on artificial intelligence. As far as the credentials, I don't really know. I wasn't really paying too close attention. But what I know is it was advertised as discussing artificial intelligence, also known as AI, both letters capitalized, no period point in between the letters. And it was an interview discussion designed around a person who doesn't know much about AI. So I was putting on my tennis shoes, getting my earphones ready, my fanny pack with my Gatorade. So I heard a little bit of it, and I didn't like it from what I heard. So it's supposed to be layman's terms. He uses these things like said artificial intelligence is a lot to do with a computer. So I don't know why they just don't start there. You say, oh, you have a model. He used the term model. So what does that mean? Just because you're not using a fancy word, you use the term model, doesn't mean you don't have to explain it. What do you mean by model? I think algorithm might be a more familiar word to people. What are you talking about, model? Are you talking about a computer program? Are you talking about an app, a computer program where you download it on your on a hard drive? It's a software computer program downloaded on a hard drive. I think people understand computer terms, CPU, stuff like that. And if they don't understand it, then introduce it. You say, oh, a model of some. What are you talking about, a model? You have artificial intelligence, AI, and you say, oh, well, this model, and everybody's just supposed to know and understand what you're talking about? As far as introductory purposes go. So he said model something to talk about it in layman's terms. And I don't know, I guess I wasn't satisfied with it because I don't know if it's from, I have a science background or what, but it's just like, you're not explaining things. Which brings me to my issue with AI, artificial intelligence, and especially how it's getting introduced to society. I think a lot of the times what happens is somebody learns something, and whether it's job security, whether it's a personality trait, so on and so forth. This can be easily explainable. And the whole point of this, hour discussion, I don't know how long it was, is to explain the basics. So if you can't do that, who's going to get blamed for that? Oh, they just don't have that kind of, the audience, whoever's listening who didn't understand, didn't have that kind of mind. Right? So they can't explain AI to me, is my best guess. So I'm missing a license plate in the front. Just gonna keep driving. Guess we gotta pause our discussion on AI. So just gonna sit in the car like that. So, oh, you remind me of the person who stalked me across the street at the church. So, I know that type. They're not getting out of the car, by the way. They're just parked in front of Frito's house. Benja's looking at him. Benja! And by the way, if you're wondering, that smoker that I was like, oh, they're going to turn in Warriors Creek. It's that same vehicle, make and model. Maybe even year. So, whoever's on Team Tan or Beige Suburban, they're parked right there and they're just sitting in that car like that. That's what they're going to do. I think July 13th was the last time somebody did that, except he had a city vehicle. They're just going to do that. So if you want this space so bad, why do I have to be here? Oh, it's only happening here and not at the zoo. Everybody, I think you should feel safe. We're only territorial on this, used to be an NISD school bus route, and not at the zoo for the overnight hotel experience. And the expansion in the giraffe exhibit is to be determined. Because right now, a part of the athletic trail at the zoo is now an overnight hotel stay, set to be open this year, 2024. Oh, which brings me to yesterday when I was at Kimmy's. She said, hey, can you stay over September 23rd through 24th? She's got an overnight work trip. And then she said, oh, there's a couple of day trips in October. And November 12th through something, she also asked me to stay over at her house to take care of Indy. So, anyway, this AI. I thought the discussion was bad. I think a lot with artificial intelligence. Why can't you easily explain it? It seems like there can be an avenue to easily explain these concepts, especially if you want it to be so part of society, right? Yeah, they're just gonna sit there. This is what happened when I went on a run one time. I stopped at the church across the street. Somebody pulled up in the parking lot, like next to me, like that. So, and then I left. I said, are they just gonna sit in their car in this parking lot right now? Okay, so I left. I'm gonna cross the street into this neighborhood. That car left the church parking lot, turned right into my neighborhood, turned on Sensate, turned left on Ruster's Creek. Look, they don't care. They're just gonna stay parked there. And you know what that address is? 9107, my same address. I live on 91 Rustlers Creek. That's 9107 Rustlers Creek, and that one is 9107 Honey Creek. So, let's go, Benjamin. Anyway, so this discussion on artificial intelligence, I really like to talk about it because I've seen a lot of, well, I haven't seen a lot, I heard a lot of this let's go, Benji. I heard a lot of this, and then what are they going to say? I'm preventing from that house being sold? That's going to be their argument. Because they can have that as their argument. Benjo, let's go. Let's go. One second. Okay. So anyway. Oh, there's a runner. I'm telling you, they're just annoying. You know, I doubt you're a runner, and I doubt you're a runner in the Texas heat. Benjo, let's go. So anyway, I also wanted to discuss Ron DeSantis' parental freedom, education freedom. But this video is taking a while. 1 second. Okay, so to bring my discussion to AI, while it's another day in the neighborhood, you know, Hakeem Jeffries is making jokes about breaking up with Trump as a country. And I'm over here, you know, another day in the neighborhood. So you keep doing that, it's not going to make you look good. But that ship has sailed, right? Anyway. So, as I sit here on whatever this is, right? As far as artificial intelligence, I think there's, you know, several categories, which from what I tuned in onto Oprah's special on artificial intelligence was not addressed. But like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing. I went running. I think there's several categories for that. As far as how artificial intelligence works, let's talk about it. Okay, let's not have Elon be the smartest person in the room, right? Does it require an internet? Is this something that doesn't need a Wi-Fi or data? What is the cost? You know, stuff like that. Take us through the manufacturing process. And if you're a part of literature, I think Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance, I guess the introduction, the first half of the book, does really well about talking about that. I think it was written like in the 70s. You'd be surprised maybe to find out that a lot of this stuff that we're studying and talking about now was something that was known in the 70s as far as science and as far as technology too. But anyway, what is artificial intelligence? Because a lot of the times how I see it today, this day and age, in 2024, probably also 2023, has been, and also with Hollywood, right, has been using a likeness. What we once called a computer-generated image is today, in this day and age, which a couple years later, is called artificial intelligence. I don't know if she asked what's the difference between the two. But anyway, what I specifically look out for with anybody discussing artificial intelligence, especially trying to explain, is this something that they're trying to scare people with? If it's something that's supposed to be a part of our future, why are we supposed to be so scared of it, right? That's my number one concern, evaluating factor. So are they trying to make us scared of artificial intelligence? And a manner in which they're doing that is saying it's powerful and that not explaining things clearly, right? So, I don't know really the difference between artificial intelligence and CGI. And that's another thing that I want to stress and emphasize, that artificial intelligence makes it seem like This is a mechanism or a process that happens on its own. There's no human input. So that's what I'm confused about. So if somebody makes, my mom said there's been some commercials with Kelly Clarkson, and then there's a message that says this is artificial intelligence. That's a likeness, artificial intelligence generated likeness of Kelly Clarkson, and the disclaimer is put on that commercial. I haven't seen the commercial, but my mom talked about it. And so I'm just wondering what's going on there. I've been told, I haven't been told directly, but from what I can see online in the social sphere of the internet, is that CGI is not really a thing. It's artificial intelligence. And so if somebody creates artificial intelligence, is not does require human input or doesn't. So that's another thing that I look out for when there's discussions about AI. Is it intentionally trying to scare? Maybe not intentionally, where they're just like, it's like boo, ah, but different ways of going about getting a fear factor with AI. What else? And another thing is, what is it? Culpability. So you're gonna blame AI for a likeness of an image of somebody else's likeness being put out into the public, or maybe not even put out to the public, maybe on the black market. So you're going to blame AI for that and not a specific individual or entity or group of people? So, how are you going to arrest AI? Is AI something that it's a computer program? It has a lot of information? It's the internet. So I'm really confused about, on top of those two concerns of explaining AI, introducing AI to the general public in a manner that does not set the general public up for success, right? And then two is blaming AI. Is it a program? It's a completely separate entity, and it didn't take any human input to create a computer-generated image of somebody without their consent or knowledge. And especially concerning if it's in if there's sexual exploitation going on there, right? So obviously, it's a human input. You want to blame a computer that happens to somebody, and what are you going to say to the victim? We got rid of the computer. And nobody was using it? So those are the two things that I look out for with any sort of discussion, introduction to AI. Are they trying to put fear in somebody? You have a car. You don't know anything about a car. You have to go to somebody to fix your car, right? Sometimes they can, nickel and dime you. Sometimes they don't do that. So those are my two concerns about AI. I feel like things can be explained really well. And I guess I'm just really confused about this whole CGI versus AI situation. I'm a millennial. So the term CGI, computer generated image, especially with movies and stuff, is a term I'm very familiar with. So there's no I'm confused about what exactly that entails. The scope of practice of a CGI. I'm not confused about that. So Hollywood studios have CGI, I guess, programs or something. I don't know exactly, but there's not a fear component there. And as far as artificial intelligence, I think a lot of the times when they say AI or artificial intelligence, it might be considered artificial intelligence, but it's not called AI. I think a lot of times, like with security, facial recognition software for the police or FBI or something like that. Is that not considered AI? All these instruments to fly a plane, is that not considered AI? Just stuff like that. So obviously the legal issues surrounding modern day usage of the term AI is obviously a huge concern of mine. I think a lot of the times, maybe not in modern day, I say modern day, I just mean like really these 4 years. If you're somebody who's used to the term CGI instead of AI in that context, we say AI is like a black box, something that can at one point in time form its own intelligence and not need human command, right? Because that's all a computer is. It goes from human commands. Human input, I think, is the term I've been using in this video. And there's movies about it. I think Johnny Depp made a movie about it. What's it called? Not Transgression, but something like that. And that one actress from The Town. Anyway, I think when people who haven't been used, like I think people in the history of the term AI, it's been like, oh, it's this computer that has access to the internet, so on and so forth, energy, hardware, software, gonna eventually get consciousness. So I think if you're a millennial and older, that's what you think of when you hear the term AI, artificial intelligence. It's about machines getting a consciousness and stuff like that. So in this today, when you hear AI for seeing somebody, their image, and that person didn't physically do those things, I think is what now people are saying AI is, which I don't think maybe was discussed yesterday. Again, I didn't tune in to the whole hour. I tuned in maybe 5 minutes. But I didn't get asked for a consultation. They said, Michelle, is there anything can you consult us? That never happened. So anyway, I guess I also wanted to talk about this school choice, parental freedom, education freedom. Because one more thing has kind of bothered me about. The meatballs all like, oh, we're number one, da 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 da. So there's a public charter school. I had no idea. I thought there were public schools. I thought there were charter schools. I thought that was the whole point of a charter school, as far as definitions of things, right? I'm against public charter schools. So we got property taxes. We have tax. It should go to a public school. If you have enough income to where you want educational freedom and parental rights that goes beyond your choice of residence, then you should have to fund that. Why should it get funded by other people's property taxes? So you want to go to a charter school, then go to a charter school. What is this public charter school? I don't understand it. And as far as this parental freedom, that's a really weird way of putting it. And so if they think that's the best way to advertise what's going on, I think that kind of says a lot, right? There's a public charter school. So these property taxes, and I don't know, all over the state, it used to be in the district. That's what it was about. But when it says public charter school, maybe it takes funds from outside of the district, outside of the city. Maybe a public charter school, since schools are state governments usually, unless it was a federal grant. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Why would you do that? So we got this new public charter school literally down the street. How it's a public tuition-free charter school, I don't know. Why do you even call it a charter school? You just decided to put a school there that doesn't fit in any district, which has, I can't remember if it's pre-K or first grade or kinder, all the way to 12th grade, all in one school. Said parental choice, parental freedom. So they get to choose where they live, and then they get to choose to spend other people's tax dollars, which takes money from public school districts, or no? We're going to have to ask the meatball that. I don't know how that works. I don't understand it. So maybe during COVID, maybe during a state of emergency, that makes a lot of sense. But right now, it doesn't make any sense. It just kind of seems like a way to decide who gets to spend what money. So we got a public charter school up the street, Colonies North Elementary School, which is a school me and my two sisters went to, in construction. It's already mid-September, and half the school is under construction. And that construction company doesn't work on the weekends or on Sundays. So we got another Chick-fil-A where they don't work on Sundays. So you're telling me a construction company has off on Sundays when they're working on an elementary school during the school year? Doesn't make any sense to me. And then Hobby Middle School, again, construction, and again, have not seen them working on a Sunday. They get Sundays off. And just throwing this out there in case you didn't know, the school week is Monday through Friday. The school week has a weekend of Saturday and Sunday, in case you didn't know. And it turns out, I don't know the validity of this information, but turns out it may or may not be, they're building a magnet school. This middle school, which is 6th through 8th grade, they're building a magnet school attached to Hobby Middle School. A magnet school is, I don't know if it's a public school or not. Obviously, we should assume it's a public school since they're attaching it to a public school. I've heard of magnet schools for high school, which is 9th through 12th grade. I haven't heard of a magnet school for middle school. And I think they're doing that to another middle school that's by Fredericksburg. I was driving around in that neighborhood, and I passed by a school, and it was looked like Hobby. I said, this is a construction zone. So anyway, obviously I think that's completely ridiculous. We're gonna need to see some financial reports. You want to say parental freedom, education freedom. We're gonna have to have the financial report freedom. What's the budget? And obviously with charter, you automatically assume, or I automatically assume, it's not the same curriculum. They have a different set of curriculum. So a charter school diploma has a different curriculum than a public school diploma. So as far as higher education, as far as university and college and stuff like that, I don't even know how that's going to work. Do they have to take the SATs and entrance exams? I don't know. All I know is here in San Antonio, Texas, they're building magnet schools in middle schools. I've heard of Health Careers High School, which is a health is considered, I think, a magnet school, and you have to apply and stuff like that. And it wasn't on the same campus. It was like a different campus. For obvious reasons, it's different curriculum and so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm just wondering about the resources for that. Parental freedom, education freedom. Alright, so those are my two topics today, AI and parental freedom. Y'all have a good one. I'll talk to y'all later.